Bru, you guys are obviously close to really taking the top off offensively, it looks like, and being really explosive and productive. Is that encouraging or more frustrating?
I mean, I'd say it's encouraging if I was picking one of the two, just because you know that you can make plays and you kind of look after the game at what made things not tick, and you see how close you are, and you're like, man, we're just one little thing away. So that's why it's really important this week just to focus on the details, be intentional with whatever we're working on.
Bru, how do you feel like you all are handling this open week compared to the last open week? Josh Heupel talked about maybe not handling it the best and that being obvious and how y'all played at Arkansas. What's the focus been like this week? What's been maybe your message to your teammates?
Just not letting the intentionality and, the speed that we play at, not letting that fall just because we don't have an opponent on Saturday. Really honing in on the details, kind of how I mentioned before, and taking this time to take a step forward, not a step back, and make sure that we're keeping our eyes on what's important and taking advantage of this time, get your body right, but also get your mind right, get back, refocus for next week because it's still a big game coming up. Yeah, I mean, just coming off the field, I think that we definitely did a really good job of just attention to detail, speed of how we play ball, and then just correcting our mistakes as we go.
Bru is a veteran leader and again a veteran in this offense. When things aren't going well, like in the first half, what's your message to your teammates or maybe even to Nico to try to get past those tough times and back to who you guys are?
Well, you don't want to panic and create panic, because if you start to panic and freak out, then you're worried about not just doing your job. So, I mean, the message for me has always just been, man, just do your job at a high level. And if everybody's doing their job and not worried about someone else, taking their play off or whatever the case may be, just focus on what you need to do it at a high level, and then things will click. But you can't be worried about what other guys got going on when you're on the field.
Nico obviously has more of like a calm demeanor to him, being one of those veteran leaders in the group. Have you had conversations with Nico maybe about being more of a vocal leader, or how have you seen him grow as a leader with your offensive unit?
Well, I think how he is his vocal leadership is, I mean, it's super prominent, especially on the sidelines, during games, during practice. He's just really good at dealing with people, like almost pulling you to the side. Still getting his message across. So, I mean, as a vocal leader, I think he's done a really good job taking a step forward, maturing in that regard. He takes good command of the field. He's super accountable, almost over-accountable at times, but he's going to put everything on himself. And when you're the quarterback, and especially me as a receiver, it pushes you to want to play a little bit harder for a guy that's willing to take accountability for something that, wasn't even necessarily his fault. But Nico's done a really good job just as being our quarterback and our leader.
I'm curious, as the leader in the receiver group, when you see Chris Brazel make a play like he did in that critical situation, you transitioned into this offense. How long does it take, and how much can a single play kind of maybe even relax you just to go play in the offense? And did you have any kind of moment like that early in your transition here?
Looking at what Chris was able to do, I think it just brews confidence. And playing confident in this offense and being reactionary, not thinking too much, is really important because of the tempo we play at. So when you make a big play like that, it kind of just builds this confidence that every time you hit the field, you got the ability to make plays. How honed in on the game plan are you? If you know your stuff, you can just go out there and play free. So I think big plays like that just kind of feed into that level of confidence. And then for me, coming here, really it was just like playing the first game and operating. And once you kind of get rolling and see how things work, it's smooth from there.
Take a couple more, Ben, go to you, and then go to Paige, and we'll finish with Patrick.
Bru, what have these last few weeks been like for you physically? How fun has it been to try and catch the football? How difficult has that been for you?
It definitely, you just try to focus on the ball more. You don't really want to think about it too much. And when it comes to the game, you try really not to think about it. But in practice, it creates this intentionality of like seeing everything to the tuck. But yeah, it's been fun.
How would you assess your overall health? I think it was a couple weeks ago you had your hand bandaged up in the game. How has that improved or developed, and how are you feeling health-wise?
Feeling good. It's definitely improved, and I think this bye week is timely. But yeah, it's gotten better every day, and here now it's definitely much better.
Bru, how would you kind of describe how you guys are playing as a receiver group? Obviously, Dante's made some plays. Swirl, like he's playing through pain. You talked about Chris. How do you think you guys are playing as a group?
Good, with a lot of room to grow. I think even after a big win, you come off and you assess the film and you just see how much you left out there. So it's almost like a bittersweet taste in your mouth. I think we've shown ourselves, like, game after game, we can get open, we can create explosives. When is it going to click? And that's why, like, in this week of practice, it's been really important to not let off the gas. Keep what's important, and use this week to continue to grow, because we know we can do it. I think we are playing at a high level. It's just making things connect.